everyone. Welcome to Club Divorcee, where we go from broken to blessed together. Today, I am here with
Angela.
and we are here at Carmel, Indiana, at a Java house in Midtown. So if you see the Awesome City sign of Carmel, there's a lot to do back behind us, and you're going to be seeing people walking around. And not only are we here in this really cool spot, but we actually have a guest with us today, too. So, Miss Shelley, welcome.
Hi.
And we are here to talk about the topic that she requested to talk about on our Facebook group. So those who are on our Facebook group, we have over 700 people who have now officially joined our Facebook group.
That's amazing.
Welcome to everybody who has joined. And we also have additional subscribers to our YouTube account. So welcome to everybody who has subscribed. We have people who listen in on Spotify and Apple all over the world. So welcome everybody. And it's amazing that you guys are all listening and supporting us. So thank you so much for that. Now this topic, this is a big one. This was a good one. I was pretty astonished that you had requested this topic, and you poor thing, you've gone through some stories. You have some stories. We all have stories when it comes to this topic. And I'm going to let you share a little bit about what you wanted to talk about and why you wanted to talk about it, if you want to even share that part. But the topic today, so you meet a person, you're texting back and forth, you're maybe even calling each other back and forth, and then maybe you even go on a date. Everything seems great, but then the next morning, you're ghosted. So we are going to talk about ghosting. Why does this happen? And why do we do this to each other? So, Miss Shelley, you requested this topic. If you wanted to kind of elaborate a little bit on your experience, your most recent one, if you want, and talk about like what it is you're going through and why you wanted us to talk about it for our Facebook group.
Yeah. I just honestly will just talk generically, not talk about any specific situation or person, but in general, I found that ever since my divorce, dealing with dating, especially online dating, there's just a lot of very superficial, fake people out there who don't know what they want, and then they just ghost a lot. And this is something I never dealt with prior. Like, I just think it's very immature. Like, if you're in your 40s or grown-ass adults, why can't we communicate? You know, if you're not feeling it for whatever reason or you got too much going on in your life, just tell them. I will personally never ghost somebody. I have had to tell plenty of men, I'm not feeling it. I've got too much going on for whatever reason. Of course, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And I get that people are afraid of confrontation. Mm-hmm. But literally just when you're like texting and talking nonstop for like a week or two straight, and then you go on a date or even two, and then poof, they're gone. That's like really messed up. And quite honestly, it just makes me angry.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, that's why we have women who are man haters and we have men who are women haters. That's exactly why. I mean, one of the reasons why, anyways.
And you and I were talking before we went live that when we were dating in our 20s, before we were married or whatnot, and we were with someone that we had maybe gone on a couple of dates with, or we were in a relationship with, we would have those conversations with that person and say, this just isn't working, or I don't think this is a good fit. Or, you know, sometimes you would say, it's me, not you. You know, everybody laughs about that.
Right.
But is it a generational thing? Like, what has changed in the 20 years since we've been married and now we're back out there? What has changed? Like, why do people think ghosting is okay?
Actually, I did a lot of research to kind of discover all that as well.
Good.
And what's also interesting, and I was going to talk about this later, but ghosting's actually been around forever. It's just
I never did it. When I was dating, I never did it. I gave that person the respect that they deserved.
Okay.
And
same with me.
And had that hard conversation.
But have you ever been in a situation back in the 80s, let's say? Let's say we all
Well,
have
I wasn't
landlines.
dating in the 80s. We don't age us too much.
Well, neither was I.
We were not dating in the 80s. Okay.
Neither was I. But there were movies out there that you would say, hey, Harry, you never called.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like there's a couple movies where there's, you know, the woman goes up to the man and smacks him in the face and say, you never called me. Well, it's like, it's been around forever.
I guess it has.
It has. And it's just changed. And we go from, our age, we had a landline. So a lot of you guys who don't know what that is, that's actually a phone number that calls your house.
It's attached
And-
to your wall. It doesn't go with you.
Exactly. And then sometimes we even had a really, really long cord that was over 10 feet long that attached to that phone because if you were like me, you dragged that phone into a private room, which
Yes.
mine was the laundry room going up, so you can have a private conversation without people listening.
Oh, yeah. Mine
so
was
you
my
thought.
bedroom in my closet just to make sure there's an extra door so my parents couldn't hear the conversation.
Exactly. So if you think about it, back then, ghosting happened. You gave a person your phone number and say, "Hey, call me." But
Or
then
you
what
gave
if there
them
was a
fake
voicemail?
phone number?
Oh yeah, there's fake
Do you
phone
remember
numbers
those
back
days?
then in the
Right.
day. It is.
Give them
I remember
the
that.
phone number to the local Pizza Hut.
Exactly.
Well, nowadays, people don't call, they just text.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
that-
like, hey, give me
that's
your
true.
phone number. And they hand
Yeah.
you their phone.
Yeah. So then
Or
you.
text me right away.
Right.
Okay.
So they know they got the legit number.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. That's what they would do
Wow,
too.
things have changed.
Yeah, but I mean, like back in the '80s, if you were home
Listen, can
and
we
they
say
called
90s?
you, okay,
I know.
90s.
Why are you saying 80s?
We are
I
not
don't
that
know.
old.
Okay, well,
Girl.
90s, before there were beepers, okay?
Okay.
and car phones, you had the landline and you were home. And if they called you and you answered, there was not even a caller ID. You would flat out answer the phone. If you want to talk to the person, you talk to the person. If that person wanted to call you, then they would call you. But you had to be home to take the phone call. Or it went to a voicemail, which voicemail boxes happened in the 90s, so we'll go in the 90s. But ghosting, it's been around forever. The technology is what's changed and what has also changed in our culture.
Yeah.
But again, going back, it's like, why does this happen? And why do we do this to each other? It's like, okay, ghosting after a first date, it can be incredibly confusing because it leaves you without an explanation. So like, as you're experiencing, why are these people leaving and they're just flat out not talking right after the date? And the truth is, ghosting, it usually tells you more about the other person's communication style than it does about your worth. And I'm going to get that in a little bit too. And I think to add to that, it could even tell you a little bit about the person's personality. Because you were saying some people are like, maybe they're just afraid of avoiding the conflict. Maybe they just want to avoid everything altogether. That's a possibility as well. So here is the common reasons why people ghost after the first date. And by the way, there are some people that made the Facebook comments on the one page. One person mentioned it was fear, which
saw
is a
that.
good one. That one was really good. And then Steve, he made a comment about avoiding. He said sometimes, if you guys want to look it up for me and have like a better answer for me, he basically summarized and said that my son's giving me the hang loose sign. Thanks, hang loose, honey.
I can read it.
Thank you.
Steve wrote, in
Yes.
my opinion, it's as simple as this. People are afraid to have difficult conversations, and therefore it's far easier to run and hide than it is to deal with the uncomfortableness that honesty brings. That is so good.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
is so true.
Absolutely.
Jimmy is live with us right now, and he says ghosting happens because of unrealistic expectations, and then you meet.
Oh, good point. Thank you, Jimmy. So like those are all true too. Here are some other ideas. They enjoyed the date, but they didn't feel enough romantic chemistry. So maybe they have genuinely liked you as a person, but didn't feel a romantic connection and just avoided saying so. Possibly. I think that's the easy way out. Here are some more that are pretty good though. Number 2, they don't like uncomfortable conversations. So for some people, disappearing feels easier than saying, I don't think we are a match, even though it's less kind. So yes, your case in point, Shelly, people can just totally ghost and they do it because they're uncomfortable with the conversation to begin with and they just avoid it. Maybe that person also has hurt feelings and feels ignoring and ghosting is better because they don't want to hurt people's feelings. And I think that also kind of goes with the younger generation too, because here we are, we're used to being told no, we're used to this kind of stuff before, and here we are witnessing the change. But then you have the younger generations who's never experienced that because they grew up with the cell phones and the text messages and the way that people communicate, that maybe those people are so afraid to hurt feelings and they think that they are actually open to telling people their feelings that that's going to hurt. So maybe that's why they ghost. Here's another one. Maybe he or she met someone else. Okay, still, that deserves a conversation, right?
Yeah.
But dating apps often mean that people are talking to multiple people at the same time. So maybe they decided to pursue someone else. Okay, fine. But we all deserve to know that, right?
Yeah.
All of us know. Here's another option. And I think I'll be curious to know what you guys think. I think women do this more than men, but I think more men are starting to do this. So, and what's also interesting, I will say 69% of our audience are men. So I'm curious if anybody wants to chime in and give us your opinion and your feedback on this too. We would love to hear this. But it's an option, and it's possible that they liked the attention more than the relationship. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Some people enjoy the excitement of meeting. They enjoy the excitement of flirting. They enjoy the excitement of going on a first date. But maybe he or she really isn't ready for the relationship. It's actually interesting. I know a lady, and this has been a couple of years, but she loved going on dates. Every weekend, she was going on a different date. And she was like, oh, honey, you can imagine all the free food that you get. I'm like,
Oh.
ouch. I was like, you go to all these dates for the food? She's like, oh, yeah, honey, it's awesome. I was like, I change up. It's Italian one weekend, and you go to Chinese the next weekend. You can go Vietnamese the other. She's like, it's awesome. I'm like, don't you get tired of saying the same thing to different faces every single weekend just so you can get some free food?
Right.
Yeah.
Starting over, telling your story.
Yes.
It's exhausting.
It is exhausting. That's why I don't like to date. That's one of the reasons why I don't like to date. I hate telling the same story over and over again to different faces. I'm just like, okay, can we just move on with this?
Yeah.
But I am curious if more men are doing it too, just for the vibe, I guess, and just to get out of the house. Maybe some people feel lonely and they're trapped at home per se, and they're like, you know what, I'll go on a date just because I want to get out. I'm curious to know how many people actually do that too. I don't know.
What bothers me the most is how men come on so strong in the beginning and they're pursuing you. And remember, we were seeing that podcast from. It's like we don't even do anything, and then they're just like all about us, and they're texting, and they're taking up all my time, and that it's all about the chase, and they're all about like the pursuit.
Yes.
And then they once they get it, then they're just bored.
Yes. So it's funny you say that because I will go to another point before I move on. There is a YouTube guy named Matthew Hussey, and
yes,
he
he's
actually
great.
said the same thing. He said there was a lady that called him, and she said, I don't understand what happened and what I did wrong. She said the date went great. He wanted to go a weekend getaway.
After a
So-
first date?
Yeah, so he pushed
That's
it.
a
He's
red
like,
flag.
Let's go, right?
Right.
I would say the same thing. He wanted to
Yes,
go a
it
weekend
is.
away.
You're shaking your head no.
Oh.
You're not listening. Okay.
So the one man in the room, other
Okay.
than my son's not listening,
can't
guys.
listen to two things at one time.
Just kidding. No, it's okay. I totally get it. So no, this lady, she is invited to go out on a weekend getaway with this guy, and the guy is the one who pushed it. The guy, it was telling her, we're going to go a weekend away. I'm going to be committed to you. Let's be exclusive.
Right.
I want to date. And he just goes on and on. And she, yeah, okay. So she steps back and says, actually, I think we need to take this a little slower. They get back from their weekend getaway.
Oh, she went?
She went.
Oh, wow.
They get back from the weekend getaway, and he ignores her the next day. So she contacts Matthew Hussey
Yeah.
and he puts it in this YouTube video, and she's like, what happened? What did I do? And of course, Matthew said, you didn't do anything. In fact, I applaud you for telling him to move slower and that you wanted to move slower. And he even said, he's like, that took a lot of courage and that took a lot of bravery for you to say that. So kudos to you for standing your ground and your boundary.
But she didn't.
Well, she
She
did.
still
by
went on the
telling him
weekend
that.
getaway.
She did.
I would have
did.
to listen to it to fully absorb. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
and that's okay. But Matthew said maybe, and this is another reason, it's like they are so emotionally involved in the moment. It's the moment. It's the passion. It is the feeling, oh my gosh, I have someone. I can be committed to this person. I'm going to love this person. And it's so exciting. You're on a weekend getaway. You're doing all this stuff. You're eating all the amazing food. Maybe you're like at an awesome adventurous island. Who knows? Not my kitchen island. Maybe someone else's kitchen island. Who knows? But at the same time, that person eventually maybe came home, and then that's when the reality hit in. He was like, oh snap, what did I just say? What did I just do? Did I really just ask to be in an exclusive relationship? Holy crap, I can't. And maybe he freaked out. So that was another reason, is like it could happen because maybe that person, whoever you go on this one date wonder with, maybe that person was so into the moment and rushed into it without even hitting the reality point yet. Maybe that reality point didn't set until later. But Matthew Hussey, it was really good. It was talking about that, into your case in point. It's like they get all involved and they do all this, and then boom, crickets.
Right. And I just, for me, me personally, I don't quite understand that, because even if you're not feeling it with somebody or just not ready, I'm friends with many men that I've dated. Like, good friends with them. Like, I'm the kind of person that I can be friends with guys. And I feel like every relationship any kind of relationship comes into your life for a purpose. And like,
That's a good point.
just because you're not meant to be in a relationship doesn't mean that there's not something that they can bring to the table, like
Right.
a friendship. Like, that's just how I am. Maybe men can't be friends with women. Maybe that's part of it. But
Okay.
you know, I'm always like, I just had the conversation. Yes, I'm not feeling it, but I really enjoy your company. I like who you are as a person, and let's be friends. But I'm friends with a lot of people, so.
So when I had met you, we were at a restaurant, and I
Yeah.
remember sitting around the corner of the bar, and there was a gentleman sitting next to you. Was he a friend, or was that a date?
He was
turned into a friend. Maybe it's a never mind.
Yeah, he was a friend. If I remember correctly, he was someone that I wasn't completely interested in, and
Okay.
it didn't work out. But you know, and we did lose touch. But
Okay.
you know, I still got together with him because you know, I also like to give people a chance. I do not decide on something after one date. I
Oh,
feel like
okay.
I need 3 or 4, at least 3 dates with somebody before you can truly get to know all the aspects of that person.
Okay.
You know, unless you're like one date, see like major red flags. But
Sure.
yeah.
So when you experienced some of the ghosting experiences that you have experienced, in fact, like in your comment, you mentioned one date wonders, which was interesting because
Yeah.
ChatGPT even mentioned they were like, "Hey, you should label your podcast that."
Right.
So does that happen a lot in your experience when it comes to dating? Because it sounds like when you go on dates, some of them that you're on date number 3 or date number 4.
Right.
Do you do more than you do as far as like being?
I feel
ghosted?
like everyone I talk to, it's a lot of like when I go on a date with somebody, they're having the same thing with online dating, where you go on one date wonders. Like, you're go on a date, great conversation, talk a little bit after, and then you get busy, you go back to your lives, you got the kids, you got work, and then it just kind of, sometimes it's no one's fault, sometimes it just dwindles out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's a plethora of reasons why people do what they do. I think we're all a little bit wrapped up in life and don't know how to commit anymore.
Okay.
I mean, I'm enjoying single life. Like, I'm definitely not like what do they call it? Stage 5 clinger. I mean, I'm like the opposite of that. I like to, you know, take my time, get to know somebody. I'm enjoying single life, you know.
Okay.
Who knows if I'll ever get married again, you know?
And you've been divorced 6 years, right?
Yes.
That we were just
Yeah.
talking about before. Yeah. You were COVID divorced.
Yeah.
Me too. That's awesome. Well, have you ever ghosted anyone?
No, honestly.
You've never ghosted anyone. Okay.
Like, unless they were a major red flag and, like, had major reasons for it, like completely creepy or disrespectful or uncalled for. But at this end of the day, I usually still be like, no. Like,
Okay.
And I say something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
And
give
then
them
I
that
block
credit.
and then I block them.
The blocking is a good thing. Well, Angela, have you ever ghosted anyone?
Yes, I have.
So what was the reason?
I have too, so don't worry.
I mean, it just wasn't a good fit. And it was one awkward date.
Was it?
Yeah, and it just,
Okay.
Well, it was,
I mean,
yeah.
am I proud of myself? No. Do I think about it a lot? Yes. I'm like, oh, I really did not do right with that. But
Right.
I mean,
there's a couple of points that I do have. Why do people ghost?
okay,
They're-
good, because I have 2 more too.
Okay. They're emotionally immature, which
Mhm.
maybe that was me. I don't know. I feel like it was early on in my divorce. So I don't think I was really ready to get out there and date. I was just kind of like, let's just do this thing. They're keeping their options open, which I think is a big one, especially if you're doing online dating, because it's kind of like, oh, here's the new flashy car, or here's the new flashy thing. You know, like you're
Yeah.
constantly getting people in your inbox and your DMs and all things. And I think yeah, they're keeping their options open. They lose interest but don't know how to communicate it. So they have poor communication skills.
Yes.
They
as
fear
mentioned.
conflict or rejection themselves. So if they can reject you before you reject them, they're going to do it. And they lack empathy for how their silence affects others. So they're not thinking about how me ghosting you is affecting the other person because, you know, we've all been ghosted and we've all ghosted somebody probably. And we're
Oh,
not thinking
except
about,
Shelly. She hasn't
yeah,
ghosted.
yeah,
You're
So-
one of the few. You're the rare.
I
I've
mean-
ghosted.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm very empathetic and considerate of people's feelings. I like
Yeah.
to think I am. Like I just don't. I think that leaves people wondering, "Gosh, what's wrong with me? What did I do wrong?"
Exactly.
And then so many of my friends have just given up. Like they're just like, "I'm done dating. I'm done with men.
Ah,
I'm gonna be single for life because
Aw.
it's just exhausting."
it's sad.
Well, it is
exhausting.
I'm not giving up.
We agree. It is exhausting
Yes.
for sure. So yes, Angela, I will add to that. Yeah, that was going to be another point is that they are never emotionally stable. Maybe they go out on a date with you before they're even over with their ex, or before they're even ready to commit, or simply because they are lonely. So that was another one. Here's one that this is me. This is why I ghost. I will embarrassingly and at the same time honestly say I have ghosted, but here's why I do it. Life genuinely becomes overwhelming. Work, family issues, mental health, other stressors that can cause someone to withdraw, although it's still respectful to communicate. I'm not saying it's okay to ghost. I'm saying even though the communication sucks, which communication sucks with me, I'll be real. I have 4 jobs. I'm a single mom. I got a kid. I got a kid with sports. I have so much going on in my life. Before we started this, I checked my personal phone. I have 2 phones. I checked my personal phone. My Instagram messages, I have 63 unread messages. I have 174 unread Facebook messages. I have unread 90 text messages. I have unopened 4,951 personal emails. I have missed 123 phone calls and voicemails, and I have unread 65 TikToks. And that's all just with my personal account and my personal phone. It does not include my business of my health resort spa. It does not include me as what am I for the state? I'm the chairman. I'm the chairman for the Professional Licensing Agency Massage Therapy Board. It does not include those emails. It does not include my emails from here for Clum Divorcee, and it does not include any of my messages as being a blogger for the Massage Critic. So yes, this is all just my personal. So this is how overwhelming my life can be. And I don't mean to ghost because I'm afraid to talk to you. I truly don't have the committed time to sit down and go through one message at a time in the morning.
yeah.
In fact,
it's
when
exhausting.
it is, but I just don't have time to sit on my phone. I don't
Right.
like to be glued to my phone. I am not that generation. I go for my run. I have to carry it, but I'm not looking at it.
Right.
When I get up in the morning, sorry guys, not sorry, but that's me and God time. And I get up, I have my cup of rise. Either I'm in the hot tub or on my couch. I'm reading my Bible. I'm doing my prayer, and that's my me time. And then I got to get up and go. I got to get my workout in. I got to take care of my kiddo. I got to take him to camp, whatever camp it is right now, football. And I got to get my job going. And then I am busy nonstop with my job. I don't have a desk job where I can sit and email people or text people and take phone calls and this and that. I'm not. I'm in session one after another after another. I barely have time to eat. So generally from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., I don't even eat. And I'm lucky if I can even go use the restroom in between clients because I'm that busy. So to sit down and make replies to everybody on the phone, like I just can't. I can't keep up. So that's another reason why I ghost. It is actually no offense to you whom I ghosted. And I do, like you, I feel terrible about it. I can't commit to talking to a bunch of people at the same time. So
That's
I
true.
can't keep up with the generation.
No.
So yeah, we were talking about that. And we talked about the landline and this and that, but also today it's happening more and more. And it's about, it'd be nice if we can stop with the ghosting, but it's going to be harder to do because you have the chat groups, you have your dating apps, you have the text messaging, you have the Facebook messengers, and all at once to the point that you feel like you're a buffet. Like you had mentioned the buffet thing in that point. Like, yes, there's people everywhere. and the communication is so much bigger than what it was back in, I'll say the 90s, when we had the landline with the really long phone cord and the one phone number with maybe a voicemail. So it's completely different. And to add into this though, so like what if you go on the date and the date was amazing? It was so amazing that you wanted to doodle his or her name on your trapper keeper. Yes, I'm calling it a trapper keeper, guys, because we're in our 40s and that's what we had. But I mean, it's frustrating, right? You guys laughed together. You guys had conversations and they all flowed so well and you flirted and maybe even kissed goodnight. And then all of a sudden it's silence. So why? Why? Why are we doing this? Well, to add on, it says that they were enjoying the moment but wasn't thinking beyond that night. That was another case in point. That's all they wanted. They just wanted that night. Another option is that you both experienced the date differently. Maybe what feels strong chemistry and butterflies for you maybe felt more casual for them. Some people are naturally warm and affectionate, and that can unintentionally create false hope. So maybe some people are just genuinely nice and genuinely hug in the beginning and then the end because that's who they are. They're very huggy, lovey-dovey, but then that's all they are. So that could actually create some confusion in that too. Or they change their mind after reflecting on the date. That's possible as well. But again, that's all lack of communication. So you had touched on this, so we're going to get here in a minute. But what ghosting does not automatically mean? This is a big one because every time we're ghosted, what do we say? Like, why? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What happened? Why did they leave? Okay, so here's the deal. It does not mean you said something wrong. It does not mean that at all. It also does not mean you weren't attractive enough. Now, I'm going to add to this. It does not mean you weren't attractive enough unless, we talked about this before in a podcast, unless you filtered the crap out of all of your profile pictures, which means you lied about who you were, and that was wrong. So then, yes, in that case, I'm sorry, not sorry. You deserve to be ghosted, honey bunnies, because you lied about who you were. So don't lie about that. But if you were honest and that person knew who you were and knew what you looked like, then no, it has nothing to do with the way that you looked. So do not worry about that. Another, it also means that you not automatically mean that you are not an interesting person. That has nothing to do with it at all. It also does not mean that you're too much, because I know some people freak out. They're like, oh, I said something, I moved too much, I did this. I'm like, no. It just doesn't mean that at all. It's not at all. Stop criticizing yourselves over it. Got to tell you, just stop.
Because we as women just get in our head. And
We do.
just, like,
Yeah.
And I think
spiral. Like, what?
Well, I think
What
men
could I
do
have done
too,
differently?
but
yeah.
they might not admit it enough
Right.
that
Yeah.
they're in their head. Yeah.
Yeah, I think men do it too. And I mean, this is another reason why we have more men on our podcast who listen than women. I mean, on our YouTube account alone, 69% of our audience are men.
Do you think, I would love to hear from the men, like, do you think more men get ghosted than women?
So I did receive a message from someone who told me, he goes, oh boy, the stories I can say, ... So I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. And I'd be curious to know if it's a generational thing, if they're talking to women in their 30s versus in their 20s or in their 40s, and what that experience is like. Because I think the older you are, I would say 90% of us are more, we're more susceptible to other people's emotions and feelings. And it kind of goes with that golden rule, treat people the way you wish to be treated.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think as time has gone on, technology has grown. It's become an easier thing to do, but it would be nice for all of us to get back to that basic. Our brains are naturally trying to fill in the blanks, often with self-criticism, right? And it's like, but without an explanation, like any story we tell ourselves is just a guess. So you get ghosted and you don't know what's going on. Naturally, as humans, we are going to question ourselves. We are going to criticize ourselves. And I think it leaves a lot of people, and I do believe it leaves a lot of women especially kind of concerned and kind of confused. But men do too, because we are all doing this. We're all ghosting.
Yeah.
So
Lynn chimed in on Facebook and says, it's the emotional roller coaster, the unpredictable person that keeps it interesting, not the same stuff, different day. The one who cares the least controls the relationship. when you have had enough, you tried it, was all take, no giving, what you can do for me next. Okay, walk away, disappear, no arguments, no drama. Yeah. And if it doesn't work, you can't fix it. That's self-respect and dignity. And then he chimes in and says, women need validation. Oh, where did that go?
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for
Yeah.
chiming in so far.
Sorry. Yeah, Lynn chimed in quite a bit, but says women need validation. And I don't think he's any longer with us because I think he wanted to actually speak. But sorry, Lynn, that we did not get to your points. But then we've got Donovan, and he says, have you ever come across a guy that used filters? Yes. Yes, Lynn, we have.
Or Donovan.
Oh,
I know Donovan. You're awesome,
Yes.
Donovan. Thanks for joining.
Don't use filters.
Yeah, please. And if, like, I love the fact that we talked about this before, but it's like, men, please don't do your selfies in a gym bathroom.
Oh,
Please don't. Like,
or,
we
or
don't need-
shirtless.
Oh yeah, please don't do the shows.
Man,
Oh, and
I
please
don't
do the one in
Carrying a
bed.
fish.
No,
Yes,
don't do
oh,
that
big
one
fish.
either.
The big
I'm
fish. Yes.
See, okay, I don't
She
mind
likes to
fishing because
fish.
I
She
love to fish. So if you, yep, I'm gonna probably just swipe right on you, unless you have a T-shirt or unless you have a bathroom photo. Then no,
That and yeah, the laying in bed thing. It's like, please
no,
don't.
I don't want to see that.
But actually, I did go on, this was years ago because I'm not on any dating apps and I'm not dating and I'm not interested in any of it. But this was a while ago. There was a guy who did filter himself. And when I met him, he had the biggest beer belly that I've ever seen. I was like, excuse me. I was pissed.
Or they
And-
post a bunch of pictures that from like 10 years ago
Yes.
when they did look good.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So people have done that too.
Oh yeah, men
So-
have done it.
Yes. Men do it too, Donovan. And yeah, they absolutely do.
I think
But-
it's important for our listeners to remember that while these reasons that we go over about ghosting may explain the behavior, they don't excuse it. So if somebody comes back around and is like, "Hey, remember me?" You don't have to excuse that behavior. You know, like
absolutely. I saw a
they
really
ghost you
funny
once,
meme.
they'll ghost you again.
No. So true.
And most likely they're
And don't
doing it to
excuse
many
it.
people.
I'm sorry?
Most likely they're doing it to many people.
Oh yeah,
So
it's probably
basically-
just not you. It's
Funny story.
others.
So after the last one that this happened, this what brought this whole hot idea. Am I
There you go,
too
perfect.
far from the mic? Okay.
Perfect.
It actually, I ended up going to Fork and Ale right over here, watching the Argentina game right there. He was
Awesome.
cuddling up to me like we had been together forever. I mean, we had been at the pool all day. He lived an hour away. So more convenient to ghost because I don't have to run into him. He lived in West Lafayette. Obviously, that's probably already too much information. But yeah, but I come to find out, we spent a good, all day together, basically. At least he cut my tree branches down, so I got something out of it. But
That was
I
nice of him.
found out we had a mutual friend on Facebook. I went to that person. How do you know this person? Oh my gosh, he has not changed in 5 years. So I got validation that
Mm-hmm.
he, in this case, he's just a scumbag and he does this to everybody. And so
It's
that
norm.
did make me feel better. I mean, in a way,
Yeah, I mean, that was nice that he did all that work for you too.
right?
That was awesome.
Because I mean, it wasn't one of those things that he was not interested. Like he was, like very much so. And what makes me the most mad about this situation was we were talking over the week of 4th of July when I was busy with my family, my mom's birthday. I had cousins in town. I was busy. I had a lot going on. And I was taking time away from my family to text him, to call him. Like he was just, we were all day long, and he just took my energy and time. And that's
So,
what,
If you
made
don't
me
mind
the
my
most
asking,
sad.
you spent that whole day together, and then did he leave and went back home over
He-
an hour drive that night? And then
and then the next day,
nothing.
and I texted, I saw it was red,
Okay.
and then no response. And I'm the kind of
Like I
person
know you
that,
saw it.
I'm the kind of person that calls somebody out. I'm like, oh, so this is how it is. Like, and because I'll call somebody out. Like and yeah, nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
Bummer.
had to get over it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to your case in point, I wanted to kind of lead into this too. How do you get over it? How do we do this, right? We got to change our mindset.
Mhm.
Absolutely have to change our mindset. So Instead of it, people worrying about why wasn't I enough? Why wasn't I enough? Instead, ask yourself, why would I want someone who can't communicate honestly?
Exactly.
Change it. Know your worth. Know your value. Know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of not being interested, okay, so why not ask, why do I want to be with someone who's not that interested in me? Change the mindset.
Right. Accept the
Exactly.
silence as it is. That's
Yeah.
the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, accept it. Accept it. I'd say grow a thicker skin. But at the same time, I am a big believer of that golden rule, right? And I feel bad because I'm like, oh crap, I've got all these messages that I haven't even opened and read yet. I'm so sorry. But if I send someone a message, I'm sure I'd want someone to read it back or treat me the same way and reply. But at the same time, I wouldn't be upset about it if they didn't.
Right.
Because I totally get it. I know what it's like to be busy. I know what it's like to be overwhelmed with life to where you don't have the time to go through every single message, and you got to take your life by priority every single day. So it's like it's really hard to unpack and do everything. Have you guys ever read the book or seen the movie He's Just Not That Into You?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That is my go-to. I know the other night I was so proud because I found this s'mores dairy-free ice cream because I know you guys like ice cream. I know
I
you
love
girls
ice
do ice
cream.
cream. But I was so excited. I found this dairy-free ice cream and I was like, this is my Friday night. I am so doing it. And I turned on my fireplace even though it was like 90-some degrees outside. But it's like curled up in my AC house and eating this tub of ice cream and I'm watching this movie again. And this is my go-to movie. That and Pure Country with George Strait. Like, no matter what, I'll go to those movies. Those are my movies.
I love George Strait.
I know, me too. I was like, can you believe I got the album for the 30th anniversary? I was like, is that old?
I got to sit front row at a George Strait concert in like 1999. And he threw his
Aw.
guitar pick, and I still have it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Love some George Strait. But this movie, it is such true to the core. The book is true. The movie is true. So even in the beginning, you know, I don't know how long ago you guys saw this, but in the beginning, girls are hanging out with other girls, and they're like, one girl's freaking out that he's not called her, and one girl, that's because he can't handle your emotional maturity, and that's because he's not ready for a relationship, and it's not calling you because you're too pretty, or you're just too smart, or you have too much success in your career. It's like, why do we say these things?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we try to sugarcoat the honest truth that he's just not that into you?
Yeah.
Why do we do it? And in fact, you fast forward, and one of my funny, favorite scenes is this guy being interviewed. He looks like he was a fisherman, but he's standing at the dock, and he's like, "A woman will never be with you if she tells you you're cuddly or you're cute. If she picks her nose in front of you on the first date, or takes a dump at your house the first time she's there."
Oh boy.
That's one of my favorite parts of the movie. But it's so true though. Like what they just get all worked up. And I think this movie was in 90s, early 2000s maybe, because
Yeah.
there were flip phones and there were
Okay.
Blackberries.
Yeah.
And the main character had a landline phone with a cord. And she was home and she wanted to make sure she had her phone calls. So it was kind of the switch of the technology
Yeah.
era at that time.
Uh-huh.
And it was neat because it has different stories that happened. And, there's one married couple where the guy does have an affair. There's this couple, the main character, she's looking for love and she's going on all these dates. And for example, she meets this one guy and a happy hour, and he goes, "The only thing happy about this hour was you," and then gives her the business card. And then he said, "Call me sometime." And then he leaves. And then he goes, "I'm looking forward to hearing from you, Gigi." And then she's like, "Wait a minute." And she goes after him. She goes, "I'm just curious. That was really confusing. You said that you're looking forward to hear from me, but then you told me that you were going to call me." And he was like, "Have a good night, Gigi," and walked away. So what does she do? She tears up the business card.
Yep, I remember that.
No, yeah, remember that scene? Okay, so later on, she goes back in, she goes home, she tapes the card back up.
Oh no.
And then she finally ends up not calling him, but she worked that up. She's like, okay, maybe there's still a chance. Maybe there's still a chance. And there's not. And so the main guy character, I'm not going to spoil for those who have not seen the movie, but I am saying go see the movie or read the book. But the guy, the main character, he was right. And that's why she really admired him. Every time she went on a date with a guy, she's calling him. She's like, okay, what do I do? So he said he's going out of town. What do I do? And the guy was like, well, where's he going? Nugane? Or like, where are you going? And she goes, Pittsburgh. He's like, run. Just run. It's like, if a guy is into you or a girl is genuinely interested, they're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And there's this rule out there. She's like, you are either rule or the exception. And if that person is going to make it happen, then you are the exception. If that person is not genuinely interested, then you are considered the rule of the dating world. And that's the difference. So if that person is going to be the exception, they're going to make it the exception. So there's no reason for you to question yourself, no reason to doubt yourself, no reason to sit back. And I mean, you can go eat like a rack of ribs and some ice cream, but at the same time, it's like, don't worry about yourself. Everything's going to be fine. It has nothing to do with anything that you did or didn't do on the first date. The person is ghosting you. They're ghosting you because of their own issues and their own problems, not yours.
I like what Amy had to say. Amy Miller. She wrote.
Hi, Mom.
Is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my mom.
Oh, did you write that? Oh, that's great. I'm going to read what you said.
Please do.
Today's generations are slipping away from common courtesy, I think sometimes. We would rather ignore someone rather than give bad news. Like, if you ignore it, it's not there, and you don't have to deal with it. Very true.
So true. Thanks for sharing.
So what do we learn if you've been ghosted? What do we learn from
not
he's
you.
just not that into you?
Yes.
It's
He's just not that into you.
Resist creating stories about why they left.
Exactly.
Don't create a story. Just deal with
And
it
most likely you've dodged a
and
bullet.
move on. Yeah.
More than likely.
It's
Yeah.
like they're probably doing it to many other people and not ready for a relationship anyway.
Right, exactly. Have you guys read, let's say, I love this author. So Mel Robbins, I love you.
Oh,
I know
love
there's
Mel.
some things that you and I
Let them.
kind of don't see eye to eye on, but overall, I do love you and I do love your books. But yes, as I'm getting to it, it's that book that's the Let Them book. So I don't know, have you read it yet?
I have not.
Okay. So the case in point is it's the let them theory. There's a lot of women out there on the rise. They're even getting tattoos of let them
Yeah.
on their,
I
on
have
their
a
bodies.
friend that has that tattoo.
But and this also, I can see how it's tailored for men as well. It really is. Even though she wrote the book, I think, to cater for her dominant female audience, but it is the let them theory. So it helps you as a person deal with your own issues as far as accepting you for yourself. Because if someone is going to ghost you, her case in point is to let them ghost you. And that just means let them. Let people do what they're going to do and what they want to do and just accept it because you got to focus on you. So let them do what they do and you do what you do. And that kind of helps with your heart. It helps with your mind. It helps you be satisfied. Something just vibrated on the table.
I got it.
So,
Sorry.
okay. I was like, oh my gosh, was that my switchboard? It's a really good book. And I do highly recommend it for those who kind of need that reassurance in life, who need that reminder of to let them. It helps you let go of the world because especially if you're a worrywart and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this, or oh my gosh, I need to do this, and oh my gosh, why is this happening? Why is that happening? It's like, you know what? Just let them. Let your boss be a jerk. That would suck, and I'm sorry for that happening, but let people do what they do. And then you focus on you and focus on your own heart. Now it's going to help you out, and that's going to help you. So if people are going to ghost you, let them ghost you. Don't chase them. Please don't be that weird, clinky stage 5 person. Don't just don't be that person. Go focus on you, okay? And don't worry about if someone is ghosting you because apparently, and as the society is continuously growing with all these technologies and all these portals in the world, it's going to keep happening unless we can do a change about it at some point, which I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
So ghosting isn't always rejection. That's the one thing too to take away.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not a
It's not.
rejection.
Yeah.
Don't feel rejected. Sometimes it's simply a lack of emotional maturity and communication skills, which we both have talked about. I would kind of add in also that maybe their life is just truly too complicated that they're not ready to date. So at some point, and I try to do my best. Like I'm really bad about it, but I do my best. I try to give grace. Like, okay, I'm ghosted, whatever. I don't care. I was like, maybe their life is just way more complicated than mine, which Mine is very complicated in itself, anyways. But don't let someone else's inability to communicate become your measure of your value. So as we talked about it, know your value, know your worth. Don't you ever worry about you. Let them ghost you. Just let it go. I don't know what else you wanted to add, but I have one good paragraph to add to this, and then I'll be done. So do you want to add anything?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, I just have, let me find it.
Yeah, no, you're
But
good.
do you want to go ahead?
Okay. So I wanted to add to all of this is like, remember that God made you the way that you are. He knew your name before you were in your mother's womb. Don't be afraid to be you because some guy or some girl ghosted you. Let them. And I promise you, God has a better plan for you. And I'm going to tell you to trust the process. As hard as that is to believe, as hard as that is for some people to experience the things that they're in, whether you lost your job, whether you lost a marriage, whether you lost, it could be anything. And you're emotionally unstable and you're upset right now, or maybe you're a woman hater, or maybe you're a man hater. Trust the process. There is a plan for you. And in the meantime, why don't we all just focus on bringing back the golden rule? Treat others the way they wish to be treated. Maybe that genuine act will help break this emotionally draining act, when we're actually truly ready to date, when we get to that point in life. But that's what I wanted to add.
Yeah. I do have some key scriptures that
Awesome.
we can keep in mind. There's Ephesians 4:25. It says, speak truthfully to your neighbor. So just
Okay.
man up, woman up, and speak truth to the person. This isn't working for whatever reason. And I don't know. Matthew 5:37 says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. I mean, just do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love how you make it so simple. Just do it.
Here we go. Colossians 3:9. Don't lie to one another. So just tell somebody as it is. Maybe it's you, maybe it's them. I mean, we don't know. And it could be just because it is you, it's them, doesn't mean that that's a rejection. It just means that you're not compatible. And that's okay that you're not compatible. Why continue to date somebody that you know off the bat is no longer compatible? So just be honest with one another. Ghosting isn't just avoiding a conversation. It often avoids truth and leaves someone carrying unnecessary confusion. And we already discussed that. Like, it's not always rejection, but that's easier said than done because so many of us are left like, what did I do wrong? Why aren't they
Exactly.
talking to me?
You feel rejected.
Yeah, you do feel rejected.
it.
Even though sometimes it's not truly a rejection, you do feel rejected. So just keep that in mind. Like, just avoid, if you don't treating others like you want to be treated, just do somebody a solid and tell them it's no longer going to work.
Rip off the Band-Aid.
no.
I say.
Oh, yeah, rip off the Band-Aid.
Tell me.
It says, if you're ever tempted to ghost somebody, we're going to practice courage. Kindness sometimes sounds like, I've enjoyed getting to know you, but I don't see this moving forward, and I wish you the best. That's all you got to say.
I'm wondering, would it be better to call the person to tell them or text the person to tell
I
them?
think that a phone call is probably
What do
better.
we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Older generations are looking at me saying, call.
yeah, you should call. Yeah. Don't send it in a text. You don't. No.
I've done it in a text before.
Okay. But going
I guess it
forward, you're going
depends
to make
on
a
how-
phone call.
Kind of depends on how far along you are in the relationship.
So, and you're right. So that's what makes me curious too about that as we're talking about this, because the guy was 10 years older than me and he was a texter. So I'm thinking, all right, well, if all you want to do is text, I guess I'll text too. So that's why I just texted back. And I'm like, okay. So it was never, like, okay. So we would meet up and I'm like, where are you? I'm parking. Okay, well, I'm here in this parking lot. Okay, see you at the door. I don't know what do you say. I'm like, should meet you at the door or somewhere. I don't know. It's like the whole texting thing. It's convenient, but at the same time, it's not. That's the other thing. When it comes to trying to text people, it's hard because you can't really read.
Oh, no,
person's
you cannot.
emotions.
No
Yeah.
tone.
It is so hard. So you're trying to reject someone via text message. I'm like, I did it that time, but
I
at the
come
same time, I'm
across
like, I don't
wrong
know.
in text all the time. Plus, I make a bunch of typos, so that doesn't help. But I mean, when people see my eyes and see my heart and hear my tone, they know, okay, I'm not being mean. But if you text it, it can come off as you're a total bitch.
Yeah. I mean, it
I'm allowed to
can.
say that.
No, you are. They're fun. They are. I'm surprised they're not outside playing. But no, you're right. And I'm sorry. I didn't mean to change the subject. But I was
No,
like,
it's
but it
okay.
is true. Like, do people call or text? And it seems like texting is becoming the thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's your thing. I don't have time. I think that's another why I have so many unread messages and I haven't replied to people because, like, I don't have time to do this. I just don't. But go on. I'm sorry.
Hey, is ghosting ever okay? And that it says, is an important nuance. It's generally healthier to communicate respectfully if you're simply no longer interested. So if you're just no longer interested in somebody, you need to convey that message and say, I'm no longer, do the kindness thing and say, I'm just not willing to go forward. However, ghosting may be appropriate when someone is abusive,
Psycho.
because we've all been there. We've all been there. I mean, we've all had those dates that did not go well, and you just need to ghost somebody.
Major red
Someone is
flags.
abusive, they ignore your boundaries.
Yeah.
If you have boundaries and they're ignoring them, I had one guy that messaged me, and it was straightforward in my profile of what my boundaries were, and he immediately messaged me and wanted to cross those boundaries. No, that is a red flag. I'm ghosting you, and I swipe left.
Okay, so
Right.
let me stop you on that one. If someone is abusive and someone is a psycho and someone is crossing your boundaries, would you not want to let them know that, hey, you're crossing my boundaries, please don't ever contact me again?
Well, I did let him know, and he still, I replied back just to let him know.
Okay.
And
Okay,
he
so you
still
didn't-
wanted to cross
you
that
didn't
boundary.
Actually
and-
ghost him then. I guess you.
No, I did not. But, I mean,
Because we want to
But
avoid
you
a
know, but
restraining order.
there are
right?
people, he could have easily come across as, okay, not letting me know that he wanted to cross certain boundaries, and we would have gone on a date, and he could have simply tried to cross those boundaries. Just reading into
Okay,
the kind of man that he was and how forward he was
gotcha.
in his messages.
Okay,
But if you already have those boundaries laid and they try to cross those boundaries, then yeah, I don't think that you owe them an explanation. You fear for your emotional or physical safety,
okay.
and
Okay.
they become manipulative or threatening. Safety always comes first.
Always.
And there are those men that will, and probably women. We're not man bashing for any, but we're women, so
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
we date men. So
Well, have
we've
you
all
guys,
been on those dates.
Well,
Right.
here's the funny thing. Like, you guys seen the movie How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you saw how Jennifer Hudson was super clingy, and she immediately put stuffed animals on his bed, like the first day she was there, and then bought this love fern.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, like, granted, she was trying to get him to break up with her in 10 days. How to lose a guy in 10 days. And it was a contest because he was doing a contest on how to keep a girl. And so that's why he had to put up with it all. But I think by like the third day, she took him to counseling because I don't even remember what the reason was, but she was so super clingy and she
Yeah.
was so forward. I was like, I wish I heard more men talk about this and be more open about this. But I'm curious to know if there are women who are actually that clingy in real life.
There
Who are
can't
people
be.
who, I don't know. There's so many women who are so desperate to be in relationships that they'll probably do anything. And they'll probably be that clingy. Or some people that are so ready to be married that they are just, I mean, they'll probably go on the first date. I mean, look at Tone Loc talking about he went on a date, and the first date, she started talking about plans for the wedding. I mean, like, that was Tone Loc's song, if you remember that lyric. But that was the 80s.
That
So
goes
I'm
back
curious.
to the women finding their self-worth in another man, like needing
Yeah,
this
that's true.
being so focused on
Yeah.
I need to be with somebody, instead of being comfortable in your own skin and where you are in life and letting it happen. Just, it should be natural. You shouldn't
Absolutely.
force somebody to, it should be go both ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
I hope there are not women out there that are like that. That's just a movie, and it's way over the top. Oh, but you know what? That's a red flag, and that's an opportunity to ghost someone. If she's bringing you a love fern on the first week, you don't owe her an explanation.
Or with Tone Loc, like she's talking about plans for the wedding on the very first date.
No.
I forget which song that one was. I know like his top 3 hits, and I can't remember which one. But yeah,
Such a great movie.
it was funny. That one was funny. Yeah. What else you got, girl?
That is it.
That's
That's
it?
all I got.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I hope people enjoyed this topic in this section. This was an awesome topic to bring up. So thank you for bringing this up in our Facebook group. If anyone has ever any other questions and anybody wants us to talk about a specific topic, please feel free to share your insights and your opinions. We're always happy to, and we're always happy to see you guys if anybody else wants to come and be a guest on the show too, or podcast, whatever you want to call this. But it's been awesome, and thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sharing your insights to everyone who has participated and everyone who is here. Thank you for coming. Ms. Angela, we usually close in prayer, so if you want to stick around and listen in, feel free. If not, thanks for joining, and go and make it matter. Ms. Angela?
Okay. Lord, we are just thankful for all of our listeners that are joining us here today and that will be joining us in the future. And we're just so thankful that we find our worth in you and that you heal every heart that has been hurt by rejection and the silence that have been pushed on us by others. We just pray that you help us to be people that communicate with honesty and kindness and with grace. We just pray that you guide us in our relationship and that you will help us to trust in you in that you are, that we can trust you in the timing of every season. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.